So, big Indiana game after the loss at Rutgers tonight against Nebraska. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about my post I made earlier today about the Rumorville with Luck coming into town. We're going to cover just a little bit of that. I'm not going to get really into that, but I want to get into this basketball game. Like, subscribe, and hit that ring that bell. Let's go. All right, so Hood Schifino unfortunately did not play in last week's game or this week's, or last game or this game, I should say, weeks. So he's been a genius making buckets. I don't know how to say it. And he's been hot. He's been making right around 50% of his threes. He was a big scorer for us. When we played against Rutgers, it came to fruition that we didn't have a scorer from behind the arc. We just couldn't get nothing going. I think that's where we were missing Pacino. So I think that was our biggest down slope on that game as far as scoring. And that was a big upset. Now, Rutgers coming in today, we hit, I think it was 11 of 23 behind the arc. We looked good. We did. Everything was in rhythm. Passing was precise. Davis got another double-double. That is his third double-double, and it's a new record for Indiana. But yeah, just it was a great game played just across the board. Xavier Johnson, great. He played great on defense, which the team as a team did, as a whole, honestly did. He had 7 turnovers, and yeah, that's just too many. For one person to have 7 is just too many. I mean, you're looking 3 or 4 to make, your team balanced out. Is kind of understanding. None's obviously the idea, but in all, just being realistic, you're going to get a few, 2 or 3. It happens. Maybe not every game, but it happens. So when you get those, it's not that big of a deal. But 7's just, that mark's just over. It's just too many. He's a little sloppy with the ball, and I think he was 2 for 8 shooting. He just, offensively, he did not look good, and I don't understand it because he's got some great athleticism. I mean, he's athletic as hell. He actually looks good when he's practicing. He even looks good bringing the ball up the court. I don't know, and I don't know how he gets to the point where he's better offensively minded. I don't know. And there are games that he looks great, and then there's bad Xavier that looks horrible. So he was pulled out of the game, and rightfully so. Like I said, he was defending good, but he's pulled out of the game, and Davis was pulled out of the game too. I think with 6 minutes left, and they put him back in because Nebraska had went on I think it was like a 6-0 run. They're starting to chip away at the score, so they put Davis back in. He couldn't have been happier because he got that third triple-double. So overall, great game. Great game. I'm going to have a short little clip at the end of this video. I want you guys to watch. It's some of the game and the interview of Davis. So now, Colts. Colts, I believe, the cards all play perfect. You're maybe looking at a 3rd round pick if everything works out right, but if not, it's gonna be more like a 5th round pick. I don't think it's gonna get us a quarterback though. And then you have the Rumorville of Luck coming into town, which I guess he was in town, as well as Jim Harbaugh was in town, and I kind of gave you my thoughts in this past video. They probably wanted to interview for the job. Jeff Saturday has for right now, and I don't know if Jeff Sayers is going to be the coach or not. I really don't. I just hope whoever is the coach has got some kind of explosive history or knows a lot about the organization. So there is that. So I personally wouldn't tank. I believe they got at least 2 more, if not 3 more wins. If they win out, and the people were talking about, they still have a shot to make the playoffs. So if they go legit, if they go 8-1, they actually might make the playoffs. It's stupid, but a lot of other stuff's got to happen. However, Colts are on a bye week this week. Indiana's on a win. So how can you argue with that? A win is a win, and we got one in the Big Ten, so we're 1-1 in our conference. But we are, 8-1 overall. So, but I got a video coming up. Please stay and watch it. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And but if you have any questions, comments, I will comment back. I promise. If you want to correct me on something, please correct me. I don't mind. I will read. I will correct, and we can get along. Share information, whatever is going on with any situation you might see that I had, or bad info, or just whatever. Also, I think I know I touched this on this, but go to Pat McAfee show. I can't remember. I think it was 2 shows, maybe 3 shows ago. They talked about why Luck quit, and I didn't get in better depth on that. That's why I suggest, if you're not already subscribed to Pat McAfee show, subscribe. I promise you will not be disappointed. But on with the video. You guys have a great day and enjoy.
Kevin, you're the 3rd player in Indiana history to have a triple-double. How's it feel?
Man, it feels great. My teammates made shots, and it was a real good response from the Rutgers game, so I'm proud of the way they played.
At what point did you know that you were in striking distance of reaching that accomplishment?
I was a little nervous, and then coach took me out with about 6 minutes left, and we were up 20, so I thought it was over with, but then they kind of went on a run, so he put me back in, and then I hit scoop for that 3, got to 9, and I said, okay, I think I can get this one. So.
How did you feel about your guys' response coming off that tough loss at Rutgers?
It was a great response. I feel like when we were there, we couldn't get any shots to fall, so in practice we were shooting the ball a lot, watching the double team and picking different points to pass out of, and so I thought we played really well and played well against the double team as well.
Well, congratulations. Go enjoy yourself.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Kevin, back to you.
Triple doubles. Ability to pass, and the way he's improved in that regard has been so impressive this season.
Nice feed there from Tamar Bates, and another monster jam, Coach.
The thing you talked about, he doesn't force things. He lets a game come to him. A lot of young guys force the action. He just took it. He took what they gave him.
There's one of his 10 assists to Race Thompson. Hoosiers by 13 at the break. To the second half we go, and here come the Huskers. C.J. Wilcher was great. He had 2 points in that win against Creighton. He had 22 in this one. A career high against the Huskers within 7. Indiana, though, answers. Talked about some of the complimentary players. Tamar Bates finished with 19 in this one. And then how about Galloway? Little step back 3. This is nifty.
You haven't seen him do a whole lot of that. When he's had success offensively a lot of the time, it's been getting to the basket. Him making threes, that could really open up some things for not just his Indiana offense, but also for Trey Galloway.
Hoosiers up by 18 at that point. Miller Kopp out of the corner. He finished with 13. And then they bring TJD back into the game to try to get that triple-double. Nice feed to Galloway, who hits. And Indiana 81-65. Great celebration there from Trace Jackson Davis and the appreciative fans at Simon Scott Assembly Hall. There you see it. TJD, Juwan Morgan did it just 4 years ago against the Dolphins of Jacksonville. And then you have to go all the way back to 1971 for Steve Downing, the other triple-double. So you think about, and the guys made this point on the game, but I think it bears reinforcing.
Indiana's making shots like they were tonight. They hit 11 threes, and he's the facilitator in a lot of them. He's much improved, though, I think, as a decision maker, as a passer. Even against Rutgers, I thought he made good decisions and got other guys shots, but the difference was they didn't make any of them. And tonight they were going the other guys stepped up and made huge plays for Indiana. But Trace Jackson-Davis is definitely the story.
You only get assists when the ball goes in the hoop.
True.
You can make great passes. It doesn't help. But, they shot 53% field goal, 44 from 3, 22 assists on 32 field goals. It's just a good night overall. And I talked earlier, their defense was pretty good. They were physical, aggressive. And you talked about it, Rob, before. Rutgers figured out a scheme. Now everyone's going to do it until you solve it. And, they solved it a little bit tonight and showed something.
These are long seasons in college basketball. Teams do not go undefeated. And so I always just kind of think of the notion of how do you respond, especially when you lose in the way that Indiana lost to Rutgers. Response here, and what did you see?
Well, I love the way they started. They're up 20-5. And you're totally right, Dave. College basketball, when you play it or you coach it, it's such a roller coaster. And what seems like can be the end of the world, 3 days later, Indiana plays great. They beat Nebraska, and all is well.
Right.
It's just like the world is ending, and then it's not, and it can go both ways. So I think I was impressed with the way they came out and the response from the role players. Trey Galloway did not score at Rutgers. Tamar Bates, 2 points at Rutgers. And tonight, those guys really came to play. I love the way Miller Kopp's playing, too. He is confident, wasn't making threes tonight, but was getting to his pull-up and making things happen.
It's never as good as it seems.
That's
it's never
true.
as bad as it seems. And I've heard many coaches say it, and I've said it many times. And the highs and lows. You talked about the response. It's also Nebraska's response. Mm-hmm. They win the big game. They're, in their state, that was huge for them to beat a team like that. And then their response, they had a bad start, and they couldn't overcome that 15-point difference, and that's what the difference in the game was.
Again, we will get post-game reaction as soon as either coach steps to the podium. We'll